Greetings, everybody. Welcome to the Dracovin Empire. I hope everybody's having a fine day and is ready to dive back into some tabletop lore. I'm your host here, Cantus Narvik Dracovin, here at the Empire. We're going to be diving into Golarion today. Yes, going back to Pathfinder, the role-playing game, and visiting, once again, TNZ to learn about a kind of ancestry Jiidon. So, if you're ready to head back to Golarion, visit it once more, well, take my hand, I'll open up a gateway right over here to it. Please do remember to leave me a little bit of a tip here with making sure you're subscribed. Always helps the channel out here. And hey, let me know about Jiidon. What do you think about the way that Pathfinder used them when I say ancestry in quotations? And how maybe you would have adapted them differently. Alright, gates open. Let's get going. Grab my hand. TNZ waits. We've arrived! Are you ready to learn about the Jiidon? So there's one book that has them. This is an unfortunate thing that they are introduced as an ancestry in the TNZ World Guide, may I note you, because they're in a monster book of it, and they describe them as an ancestry, kind of, and how to play one there. We're going to talk about it, but it's kind of like weird because it's sort of there, but also not there. It's unusual. Why don't we get into it, rather than just sit on here? And it is very interesting that this is really the only source we have. And Jiidon, who are they? What are they? Why can you play one? These are all really important questions to kind of ask. So let's start with who they are, what they are, and what it means to be a Jiidon. And then we'll talk about playing them. So, they're rats. That's the easiest way to describe it. They're magically touched rats. You just see a Jiidon, it's a rat. It might look like a rat, and act like a rat, and it seems like a rat, but it's also not a rat. What do I mean by that? Well, there is a legend about them, and part of this is true. The legend of the magic that have created them, but basically, a magic touch rat consumed the discarded fingernails of humans, and the gods granted the rat the ability to shift into a copy of that human. Yes. This little rat dude eats someone's fingernails and turns into them. That's it. Whether or not it's like some kind of God-given gift or some other kind of thing, no one's really clear, but we do know that is how they actually work. They consume a little fragment of a person, and then they could polymorph into them. And it's not just an illusion, they are polymorphing, physically changing into them. So it's unclear where this first Jiidon was come from, but their descendants now live among rats and humanoid populations around the world. Yes, they are more focused in TNZ, but they have spread. Just like people from TNZ have spread across the world, the Jiidon has spread too. Probably you're going to find the majority of the population in TNZ, but really you could be in Absalom, you could be in anywhere. You could be somewhere in northern Grun, like Osirian. You could be over in Arcadia. And boom, Jiidon. Basically, in their original forms, they're basically rats. They look like it, they're nothing. But they are sapient. They are smart. They are intelligent. They have the minds of any humanoid, any other ancestor. But when they did eat the discarded fingernail of a humanoid, and technically, yeah, that's the fragment they kind of define as their ability, fingernail. They gain the ability to transform into a subject that's similar to the humanoid whose fingernail came from. But there are subtle differences. Their ears are a little larger, kind of pointed. Teeth grow over their entire lifespan, just like a rodent's would, so they go to chew on things and hard materials to wear down their teeth. And of course they grow whiskers from the side of their face that require daily trimming. The rat features. These are a mostly harmless being, but again, that power that they have does kind of provoke worry about them. You know, it's that fact that they can appear like someone. That kind of can be disturbing to people. Mothers will tell their children not to clip their fingernails, or, you know, especially in the dark, where a Jiidon may be lurking to grab it and bring it away and become them and replace them. They are cautious like any rats, but they do want to be with humanoids most of the time. The fact is, they are smart, like a average humanoid society are, like the members of most ancestries are. And they want to be more than just rats, so taking on that thing. Here's the thing that Jiidon have been known to do. They look for more unpopular members of society and basically replace them. And see that as an act of basically getting rid of someone unpopular and being like, oh, hey, look, change of mind, we're a better person. And sometimes they do reveal the fact that they've been replaced. But basically, they don't want to replicate the original's attitude. They want to get rid of someone that might be a problem in society and replace them. But again, they physically can do that, whether or not they... Well, that's not really said, We don't... They might, or they might not, But they're basically like, hey, I can be that guy, I'm better than that guy, or that gal, or that person, or whatever they are. If a Jiidon comes from a large family, they seek a role that gives them access to nail trimmings. Hey, give some trimmings to their fellows, so they can become humanoids too. Cleaners, doctors. They want to pass the gift of a humanoid form through their family. And it is important to note that with their ability to consume fragments, this only lasts 8 hours more. And they have to eat more fingernails to consume it again. But if they consume the fingernails of a humanoid 3 nights in a row, they can take that form at will and can't use this ability to imitate any other humanoid thereafter. So they get a set form, basically. And that's where playing a Jiidon comes in. And this is an important part about talking about them, because we do have rules for playing one, kind of, but they are not their own thing. Basically, there aren't ancestral rules. And the information we're giving is just to use the Beastkin versatile heritage to basically emulate one that's not a permanent humanoid form. And that kind of works. That's kind of true. I mean, again, we're using the versatile heritage on top of something. Basically, the fact is that with this kind of, sort of thing there to do it, players should work with GMs, they say, to basically figure out how this works. Because the idea of normally a Beastkin is you're a humanoid or ancestry with some kind of beast blood in you. In this case, you're a beast creature that has learned to be humanoid. And you still have a little bit of that beast blood in you. You have those rat features. You mainly are shape-shifting from a rat. So there is something that likes to develop there. And yeah, I think it's one of those things is it works, technically. But it's kind of weird and not quite just a Jiidon on its own. I kind of feel sad about that, because they're an interesting concept. But, I mean, I think that's where we'll go today, because again, we don't have a lot on the Jiidon. They don't really build their own societies. They don't really build anything beyond what they are. They're magical rats that can take on humanoid forms. And yes, plenty of them seek not only that humanoid form, but maybe to have that opportunity to get a permanent one. One that they can be forever. But they don't have to keep consuming fingernails to do that. But it does come down to that thing of, are you replacing someone? Are you taking this and going somewhere? There are issues that they have that I think it comes down to the individual morality of these beings, because they are smart. They're beings. And this just desire to be something more than a rat and be part of the humanoid societies is something deep within them. Now, playing in the Beastkin versatile heritage is an interesting way to allow you to do it. I mean, I might work with players to develop something a little bit more, but again, it works, but again, it's also that, should there be more? I don't know. It's an interesting concept of, should there be more? I mean, there's awakened animals, maybe, something in between awakened animals and Beastkin versatile heritage would work for it, but I don't know, really. It's an interesting and odd position to be in for the Jiidon. But I'm glad that Vision provides you a way to play this interesting little creature that kind of is an ancestry on its own, but kind of isn't. I think that's kind of where we're at. It kind of is kind of innocent, and playing one, you're imitating something. You have to remember. you're still imitating something. You look just like most. And, you know, maybe you can just pass that off as, oh, we just look alike. Look, you leave so far away. And it doesn't matter that we look alike. Travel somewhere across the world. You'll never encounter. Just interesting stories. I think that's why I wanted to talk about the Jiidon. Because they're interesting, and they're an option to play, technically. Hey, more storytelling opportunities. We'll leave things there. I hope you enjoyed. Please, remember to check out all of my stuff, whether it's over on my Twitch side of things, where I record a lot of tabletop stuff, and I also do video games and all kinds of various things, where you can catch me live, or over on the YouTube side, where I upload all my tabletop stuff. Probably eventually do a pod channel. I haven't done it yet. Basically, you don't have to catch me live. It'd be nice, but you can always catch all the tabletop stuff on YouTube. I have social media link below. Please remember to check that out, see updates on my schedule, things like that, when things are being uploaded. And yeah, hey, always let me know in those comments. What do you think about all this? Now that I've gone through Jiidon, what do you think about playing one? And do you think the position of just making them a version, quotation, of the Beast King versatile heritage is fine enough for them? Or did they really deserve something a little bit on their own? I'm curious what you think. Let me know. Let's discuss it. Anyway, I'm going to get going. Until the next time, we dive into some kind of interesting heritage, some kind of interesting ancestry. I'll see you all next time. I bid you fair. Goodbye.